Welcome to another episode of Sanford Says. My name is Lisa Holder, the Communications Officer for the City of Sanford, and I have two very special guests with me today. Tom George. Tom George is the Deputy City Manager for the City of Sanford. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you.
And Christina Hollerbach-Simmons, who is the CEO of Hollerbach's Willow Tree Sanford and the President of the Sanford Mainstreet. Welcome, Christina.
Hello, thank you.
So those folks we're here today to talk about the new Sanford Information Center and Mainstreet, Sanford Mainstreet. So Tom, I know a lot of things have been going on in the background. It's been a long haul, a long project, but we are at the finish line. The City of Sanford's at the finish line, and we have some great news to share about the new Sanford Information Center.
Yes, thank you. We have a lot of exciting things going on at the Welcome Center. I want to give you a little bit of history first to explain where we're going with our new mission. But the building was actually built in 1917 as a U.S. Postal Service office, and remained that until they built a new post office across the kind of catty corner at First and Sanford. And at that time, it became a Sanford City Library in 1962. Stayed a library until 1975 when the county took it over, and the city took it back in 2009. Since then, for the last 11 years, it's functioned as a visitor center for the city of Sanford. And last year we had over 20,000 visitors. We had 2,000 of those were from Amtrak, and it has been managed by the same organization for the past 11 years. With the pandemic, that organization found they could not properly fund their staffing, and we eventually, earlier this year, terminated that lease. We realized that not just a visitor center, we wanted to keep that opportunity to introduce 20,000 people to Sanford and all the great things that Sanford has downtown, but we also wanted to step up a little bit and help the downtown merchants who were struggling during the pandemic. A lot of discussions with the city leadership and the Sanford Community Redevelopment Agency, CRA, and we decided we would try to stimulate the economy downtown, help small businesses, and kind of repurpose the Welcome Center into a visitor center and a small business resource center. So we've been working on that. We're doing a lot of remodeling. As I said, the building was built in 1917. The exterior is virtually the same as it was in 1917, and the interior has not changed very much. So between the CRA and the city, we're spending approximately $50,000 to $60,000 to remodel the interior to make it more functional for the organizations that are going to be in there, and more welcoming and functional for the visitors.
And what an investment, if you hear that the city's making in downtown Sanford. And for those who are listening and don't know where the Sanford Welcome Center is, it is in the heart of downtown Sanford, right across from the Willow Tree restaurant. So, Christina, I know that the Sanford Mainstreet is a new organization, and you're on the show today because there is a component to the Sanford Information Center. We do have several organizations. As Tom said, they're going to be leasing space in the building, and one of them is the new Sanford Mainstreet. It's exciting, right?
Oh, I'm very excited. I think, too, I'll follow Tom's lead and talk a little bit about the history of what brought us to Sanford Mainstreet. The city used to have a Main Street long ago that kind of dissolved over time. And about, I would say, a year ago, we all had a SWOT analysis meeting, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and whatever else. And there's a lot of us that were in that meeting that had been in that meeting 100 times already. And it's always like, well, what happens next? We are all good at identifying what we need to do and what we're good at, but what are those next steps? And those next steps led us to resurging Sanford Mainstreet using all this 4-point program. And it's an accredited program that's funded by Historic Preservation through Florida, and it's also Mainstreet America. So it has this huge support and a great kind of like path to follow. And so we have a lot of those things already in place here in Sanford, which is historic preservation, which is economic development. And we just need to finish out those 4 points. And it's really about public-private partnership. So having a board that's made up of people that are good at preservation, good at economic development, that have invested interests, that are business owners in the area, that makes this a really strong board of people that have skin in the game, that are incentivized to make Mainstreet a successful organization that's helpful to all. So in our process of getting this organization started, we started to go, well, what do we need to do? Where do we need to be? And because they were simultaneously working on their goals of having a business center and also reaching out with economic development and having the CRA do these grants, it was the perfect marriage of missions. And so Sanford Mainstreet is kind of taking over that space that is now the Information Center, along with the CRA, the Sanford Chamber, Seminole Cultural Arts Council, and we're all got really great missions. We've the leadership in place now that we're working together with clear goals, all under the same roof. And I think it's important to mention, I think it's almost 2 years ago now, they went on a fact-finding mission to Asheville. And one of the biggest takeaways I heard from all the presentations that came from that fact-finding mission was how impressed they were with the branding the second they came off the plane, the second they got to the city, the second they went to this office, that there was multiple entities all working together with the same branding message and the same mission. And I feel like right now in Sanford, there's so many people that see all this wonderful things that we have, and they want a piece of it. They want to promote it, but we're very scattered. So I think having us under the same roof with the same mission and a real strong branding message is going to go a long way to the economic development of our town.
Yes, and I understand too, the city of Sanford and the CRA will have an office space there too, Tom, right? So that's going to be nice that
correct, yes.
City folks can use that space and be there with the people in downtown, and meetings can be held there. Don't necessarily have to come to City Hall, and we would be out in the community. Right?
That's correct, and as difficult as times are right now, I think the timing is really just fortunate as far as trying to repurpose the building. We've worked at Mainstreet, as Christina mentioned, for a couple of years now, specifically the last year or so in marketing and promotion. That's what we need right now to promote downtown. We've got a unique and beautiful downtown. Most people don't realize all the things we have to offer. But we also have businesses that are struggling. So we want to help those businesses to bring more people downtown and to give them resources to help them develop their businesses and start new businesses. So I think the timing's good. The mix of organizations is terrific. We're seeing more energy. We're seeing more improved relationships among the different groups and things. And I think it's just a good match and a good time.
And so it certainly is a good time. No better time than the present. And you mentioned the CRA, and the trolley is involved, the Sanford Free Trolley as well, because those passengers that come down, there's a stop at the Sanford Information Center too when people take the Sunrail into our city. So it is definitely for visitors as well, visitor focused, and businesses. And so what can people expect, as this building and this agency, the Sanford Information Center, just kicks off their opening? What can people expect in general?
I think
about
our biggest goal really is surviving the pandemic. I hate even talking about it, but it's that big looming cloud over our heads. So the biggest focus right now is making people feel confident and comfortable going out again, redoing events so that there are more open spaces and safe areas to congregate. So I think trying to give people the business resources they need to survive while also changing our events to make them more safe and friendly is a big part of our mission, because without taking care of the people we already have, we're going to fall apart. There's definitely going to be a big focus on infill and utilizing the buildings we already have on First Street, and being a part of this retail and food and beverage community is huge. But I think taking care of people now, making sure they have resources. There are so many government grants out there, the CARES grants, this thing, whatever, but it's hard to navigate. And when you're an owner-operator, trying to figure out how I can apply and where to apply and the paperwork I need is difficult. So being able to have a real resource center, it's like, man, I don't even know what to do. Hey, come in here. I've got this whole wall full of this form that you need and this person you need to talk to, and I've already done 2 of these. Let me help you with that. There's so much to be said about, and you can read all you want on the internet, but when you go to an expert that goes, hey, I know how to do this, it gives you so much confidence to move forward, and I think that'll be a big focus of what we have going on in the next couple months.
Yeah, and when you say an expert, that's the executive director, a new executive director of the Sanford Mainstreet, and they will be there. There's going to be an open desk, front desk there at the Information Center, welcoming people. That's right. And are the hours going to be flexible, or do we have a set schedule at this time?
The Information Center is open 7 days a week. It's 10 to 5 Monday through Thursday. It's open till 7 on 10 to 7 on Friday and Saturday, and then it's open from noon to 5 on Sunday. And it's our first opportunity, our first impression for over 20,000 people a year. We don't want to miss that, and I think we're going to see a much more open and friendly atmosphere when folks come in, more helpful. As Christina said, to help them with some of the bureaucracy and governmental processes and things with the CRA and business grants and city opportunities, incentives. And we'll have an internet cafe. We'll have excellent Wi-Fi connections. We're upgrading all the data stuff in the building. Just a good place for people to visit and have a friendly atmosphere and get information they need about Sanford.
That's great, and that's why we decided on the name Sanford Information Center. And so, how can people find out more? Where are we at right now with that? We have a domain that we've captured, and then there's more to come, right, Christina?
Yeah. So the Sanford Mainstreet is going to be kind of leading the campaign on introducing this new building and concept to city. But we've got lots of things in the works. So besides working on the website and communicating all those needs, we're really excited about Small Business Saturday, which is November 28th. Sanford has always been good about that because we have so many owner-operated places, and Shop Small has been a big part of our community in general. But we're going to put a lot of emphasis on really pushing that and making that an exciting and safe event for Sanford that promotes small business.
Very nice. And Tom, as you said, this is a city building, and the city of Sanford has invested now in the computers. The networking and all of that is through our IT department. So they're taking on this other project, but it is a city facility, right, Tom?
Yes, and just very excited. I mean,
yeah.
we wanted to create some place that is open to the public and understand, can help people wade through some of the difficult governmental stuff. And a lot of excitement, a lot of excellent relationships, and we're looking very forward to it.
Yes.
I think, too, with even though generally Main Street's been a little bit more focused on economic development, it really got started because of historic preservation, and that's a huge aspect, especially of District 1, that I'd love to see a lot more information there, because we have Julie Schofield, our historic preservation officer, who's wonderful. And I think if people understood the Schedule S codes a little bit more, and they had a resource where maybe it wasn't as formal, that people would come to the Historic Preservation Board meetings with a little bit more confidence. So I think that can be a huge part, not just for the commercial district, but residential as well. Mm-hmm. Knowing that, hey, let's just talk about it. Here's some codes. Here's what's up. And we have a list of people that can help you that are good at restoring windows. It's a big part of what makes our town unique, and preserving that is really important to the mission. So it'll be nice to have that resource as well.
Yes, and District 1 is the Commission District Christina is referring to. The Welcome Center, the Sanford Information Center is that we're going to have,
it's going to be a while.
Sometime.
A little transition, yes.
A little transition. So is there anything else that we wanted to share with the public, Tom? Any last words or anything that
two things. I want to kind of piggyback on what Christina said. We pride ourselves on being just friendly and open and the friendly city, and I think this is going to go a long way in promoting that and opening just a lot of information to the citizens in the downtown businesses. We want people to go there, hang out. If you saw the building prior, I would invite you to come down and see it in a couple of weeks. It's transformed. Very nice inside, very open, very welcoming, and just want to be a helpful resource for visitors and for our downtown folks.
And we're talking about what time, when do we think would be a good time? I know this is just a precursor to what is happening, but is there a definite time frame where people can walk in now, it's open to the public, or is it in transition?
People can walk in now. We're still under some of the remodeling. The remodeling should be done middle of November and fully functional, but we're open for business now.
All right.
Well, a great time to come would be during the Sanford Wing City Mural exhibit. We will have some exhibits on display on the outside of the Welcome Center, as well as all over town. I think we have over 45
you
applications
said it. Welcome Center.
See? We have 45 different...
11 years.
I know, it's going to be hard. 45 murals all over Sanford, and that exhibit's going to be the last 2 weeks of November. It'll end on the 29th, and so it'll be really fun to go see those and encourage more public art in our community, and it'll be perfect timing because then we'll have things to decorate the walls with inside the newly renovated Information Center.
Yeah.
But there's lots of great events going on in Sanford, and especially with this looming pandemic. We really wanted to do events that were open air, that you could walk in between buildings and do sidewalk sales and, go take your picture outside in front of a mural. You don't feel obligated to be in this space. So that's one really nice thing about Sanford is we have so many open air facilities and parks that it is a great place to come and enjoy and be with your family.
And it's great timing. It's the holiday season, and
it's the holiday season.
I know. I wish I had jingle bells or something here, but and also downtown Sanford will be lit up, and it'll be just a great atmosphere, holiday atmosphere, and stop by the Sanford Information Center and check it out. As Tom said, we are welcoming everyone to see what the city of Sanford has to offer, which is a lot. I would say
we
definitely
have a beautiful
a lot.
and unique downtown, and the Information Center will be a great place to start and learn about all the different things downtown.
So I was going to say, does anyone know the address? But you can just go online now, right?
Yeah.
I have it.
Okay. Tom,
It's 230 East First Street.
Okay,
corner
there you
of
go.
Palmetto and First Street.
There you go, because people may be listening to this podcast that are not from Sanford. So
Beautiful building inside and out.
Historic building, yes. Thank you. Well, last words?
Come to Sanford, do some Sanfording. We've got lots of things to do, and I'd love to hear from you guys and make things grow together.
Great.
Come visit. We're open for business.
There you go. Well, we have our special guest. Thank you, Tom George, the Deputy City Manager for the City of Sanford. Thank you so much for being on the show, Tom and Christina Hollerbach-Simmons. Appreciate all you do. This is Lisa Holder, Communications Officer for the City of Sanford. Thank you for listening to Sanford Says. You can find this podcast wherever you subscribe to your favorite podcasts and on the city website at sanfordfl.gov/podcast. Thanks. Be safe out there, and we'll see you soon.